me and the non-believer. So if you have a treaty with the non-believer, you should not, kill them or take away, innocent human life, which is, the wrong. So we have to respect, our treaty, even with the non-believers. And Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he was a messenger, he spent the first 13 years in Mecca. So the wisdom, we understand, from that. He didn't tell, those non-believers, okay, don't stop, the interest, which is the riba, or stop, drinking the alcohol or drug, or stop, the adultery. The only thing that he asked them during the 13 years is, believe that there is only one God, which is Allah. Do not associate him with anything else. For 13 years. So the wisdom we, a Muslimin, and especially, the scholar, who want to spread, Islam, especially in the Western society. So we have to learn, from the wisdom that Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam came up with it, and that is the Mecca phase. So if you look at our life, especially in the United States or the Western society, we are very close to the Mecca phase than Medina phase. So the scholar also, they have the obligation. Do not come into the Western society and tell them, close them in your bar, don't do this, don't wear the miniskirt, don't put your pen down to your leg. No, start with the Mecca phase. Make them believe that there is only one Allah, and then after that, when that becomes molded into their heart, then you can come up with something else. And further than that, when Rasulullah sent Muaz bin Jabal to Yemen, what he told him? He told him, when you go there, the first thing that you have to do, just make them believe in Allah only, nothing else. You can go to the nightclub, you can go to the movie, even if you don't want, don't do anything else. Once they master with that, then tell them about the salat. Once they master that, tell them about siyam, meaning by that, the fasting. You go step by step, like even baby in a step. So sometimes, the scholar, themselves, they're not doing, a good job by recruiting, the new Muslimin, especially in the Western society, because we're not following them in the wisdom that Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam come up with it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in his Quran that Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a good example among you. So if he's a good example among us, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, so why don't we follow in his example? And his example is, for the first 13 years, only believing in Allah. And we even know that in some of our masajid, when they see, the girls, coming to the masjid without, hijab, they call them with a name. Or when they see, the boy, come up with the pant hanging on their leg, they're telling me something. Would you rather them to be in the masjid or them to be in the street? No. So in order, Islam, to get the root in American society, it's not we immigrant. It's the people who was born here like a second and third generation, because they are a majority. And we immigrant, we are a minority. So if you look at the population of the Muslim in this country, the second and third generation, they are about 80%, because every one of us have like 2 or 3 children, and you are by yourself, come to this country. So who's the majority in your household? It's the people who was born in here. So the people who was born in here, that wisdom should be in the Mecca phase, not the Medina phase. That's what we should start with it. And then after that, in a religion, there's only 2 religions. The way of Allah, which is the Islam, and the way of the shaitan. There is no Christianity, there is no Judaism. There's only 2 religions, Allah, which is the Islam, or you go to the way of the shaitan. And as long as you're a Muslim and you're a scholar and you want to call the people into the Islam, you have to be patient, because they're going to call you with all kinds of names. They're going to call you extremists, they're going to call you terrorists, they're going to call you uncivilized, etc. So you have to be patient with all of those. Our beloved Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they call him with all kinds of names. They call him shair, they call him, he's a crazy, he's nut, he's etc. They call him he's a magician. But yet, the religion has been prevailed. Because anyone who's want to bring the goodness to the society, so the force of the status code will come and rebuff that, because the people don't want to change, especially if it's on the right guidance. So the Muslim and the scholar and the people who's doing the dawah, they have to be patient in Islam. And the leader, they have the obligation in the way of Allah. If you're the leader, Allah will ask you about your follower. So you have to be right. You have to be straight, because Allah will ask you. If you are an imam, Allah will ask you about your follower. So you, a follower also, you have obligation in front of Allah. Allah will also ask you, did you follow your leaders? So that's also your obligation. And the testimony of Allah, Allah said in the Quran in Surah Al-Ankabut and said that you cannot say that you will be a good believer without a testimony of Allah. If you say you love Allah and He's a messenger, be ready for all kind of testimony. So therefore, Muslim, don't think that because you pray 5 times a day, you get up the entire night to do the zikr. Every year you go to Mecca and you fast every other Monday and Thursday. So that means Allah will not test you. Yet, if you're a true believer, and there is a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that Allah will test you to the measure of your belief. As long as you're a good believer, how deep you are, that's how your test will be deeper. So if you're a good Muslim, chances are you might not even find a good job. You might be sick all the time. You might not even find a good wife. Or you might not even find a good kid. So all of those, it's a testimony from Allah. So Allah tells them in His messengers. If you look at Nuh, his wife, become even the non-believer. His son didn't obey him. So that's the prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So don't say that because I'm a Muslim and my wife is not good or my children is not good, that's why Allah punished me and I'm not a good Muslim. No, that's wrong. Because you have a good Muslim, don't think your life is going to be perfect or honeymooning. Your life will even be miserable than non-believer. Because the non-believer, chances are, they might not even have any headache in their life. But you, a good Muslim, you will have all kind of testimony. Because Allah wants to know that if you are a true believer, because you don't know that you're a true believer, till when Allah tested you. When Allah tested you, that's when He will know that your belief, it's sincere. Nothing can shake you from your belief. If you're not a good Muslim, and you got sick, you might say, maybe somebody did something bad to me. Maybe my cousin did that. Or maybe you lost something in your job. Oh, because I built them in 2 houses in my country. That's why the people don't like me anymore. Those are shirk. Or maybe because I don't have a good wife, because so-and-so did that to me. No. All of those coming from Allah, because nothing good or bad will happen to you in the absence of Allah. So being a true Muslim, be ready for the testimony. That's how Allah will know and skim the milk from the water.
La shaka osla mawkiti nando wandi ho nanya akamana di farenda bakile kei bolembe oken kama Kenya ngaba na habe goda batenga ko be wasimana mo gombe oya en pay alamu islam na mo duna hay mo gombe islaminu nantina mbo kana ngon kama na kullaga ni gindi hanganga la shakka to ana suka dangi se suma kenda ngandi maganta dawabi to mashatu na yake kanai komo dangi halisen kama magombe islama mun dinanya na sollaga ni hore laga ni tanga ora ko magombe hatta kay muslimin jamane no woni iga dunga islama o ke hukumu islama onda kullaga ni hore tanga na ane giri andika nango kuna kullaga ni bonuma jakwan kama forcing kama ntimbo bonuma akembe ngasa aw fitna mo meisare o ya rempa mo medna no woni to an me ngo dangi ita ane ba karange kama hakina kari kinga karange ke shat non kunan timea anna bugo ara wa hanga kera na bononi to andar na halle akmo na hakibe jiki agana ya koranga mwana hanga dro tamana to ono malle kana semmi kina ay ko tambe kama tala de madilli kan kutare kom kenga rasul wolingran mo melengi kana timata ya ti nasrullah ala de maleken ni kan ba tiketa ungiri keta o dalla mugini mo guru anga mapuru alla kallen ki no faren ngile ngoniya ken tampebe hayrini ken torabe hayrini sere kallebe hayrini lagaman ko tangoni tinni kesu ko manten ka hanai kema faringa ko hasan wala abdullah ibn hasan wadi tike nyama ya sola gani gaja miganti hatta yashhadu an la ilaha illa allah wa anna muhammadar rasulullah fa idha fa'alu ذلك عصم مني دماءهم وأموالهم إلا بحق الإسلام. تنا شرشة ونقولنا كويرا كن نغني ننتي الله نباني أي نارجنا بانكا وبتيه نغني نندي فارنا الله كريم فارنا صلى الله عليه وسلم تي هرون جو كي كم برامين كي ina burum bose kem pramim kei manda islam on pakenga de islam on pakenga ko isrenga sren karnan toran kari manda islam on pakenga de kali an suko nan ko ni lenge sira yanti Allah kan ne magai anga taganu kame anda hari awasikka ka woti mande ni dan de tinya Allah kan ne magai o ya ran paye mo ko nan woni nandi jihadu fare wa ko mo be ay makanta rino mamad nan tahina Allah ya shart na kunya antimenari kembe ngana da bari hanna kem palle tora be ga kam maken nan kora akon habe jikiya anasul malik akem hasan lamini nandi fare ngana ga debe nandi ora kella ga na gaja asike masuba anti watimbe fa idha sami'a adhanan kaffa anhum aya sale kana mude be keno gondi awsane di halle anda ken be jada hana ibn al-libar akena kidgame ko nandi kenni fare nga killen ka hanai anyi sahabu nya mar diken ka hanai de be soara sale kana mu ken de be taani la ma kinga jada hana lengi galenya ona utu hose anaro wala monankari anda kendi na mugumina Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala durum pram ko ta mega kam gombe wala ko gombe ma ayanu na ati suronna aga do min honne ma wot na ramti ila wa to kono bay to ra to kono silama min qawaid al kubra atadarruj na utu honne mangor de kiyam mo anga mo gombe gana to ana woti na rai takalifa ka suya ngako tabania qur'an suya ngadome ko tabania wallahi hanya kutana surong kama mai kata dabar ni rahana Qur'an ni me yang kam wonno wal tambile o sino sikino wondi allati wanazzalnahu tanzila ida ya kandi honne ma woni timme ko tambe al yawma akmaltu lakum dinakum wa atmamtu alaykum ni'mati wa raditu lakum al islam dinan kembe ngawa an be nari mo gombe kun wa girnanti wa alla kalle ke dabarni gillande hari nga nesre nga islamu nga naiya igarlo kille be kille kiya katawun kille nga sammen kille igar islamu awun kille be wala wala kan warni kata ina di islamu awun nga nay gillan damo jihadu kemere barni ashaki mi ahamme dawabit anaya islamin kana kempalle wala matadu nga ka hanay ngana giri nanda ngora ga nanda na kenjama tagandi tangena awa ansariya no koi wala manna kita ko ani sukara ni kari angel taw kinjo manana no woni kenya na muri ngake may Allah kallen ka hanay na solo laga di kari na Allah kalle ke da bari aw nyaade me garno kille be kembe di farenda kille ngale salatu wassalam kengani bawabi tun ka hanay kengani jihadun ka hanay ahananga تقديم الدعوة وجوبا لمن تبلغهم دعوة نلاقي الله الدعوة كنا كيان يسروي هنا بالله كيانا ونقوم بكجا أن نقيم لنكين سامنان كاين أهلا نكهني أن يكون الجهاد موافقا للغاية التي شرع من أجلها أهلا نكيبي جهادنا أنا هو لغنا جمني الله سبحانه وتعالى hibiya sharia jaru ke mesra bun kanai ken kan timano wondi ken alla digan kanai ken go tini kam kanai ken jumhur tuano daga yele alla jaru nya sharia ma eska danya kaya hono nyame yan ko den kama ba madanya nasr brau alo kili ba sakana kullaga ni buno kanai jumhur ulama kun daga ti jiharu illatu jarunga sharia hibe illa biga awa aya sharia ka hanai hibe ga isabu wa jarunga farla naraga na golli bu laga na loni nyaaren kamma kengani darul hiraba kengani golli bu nga kilima sakanu ma sere buruma kunu wala kale ga janna na kullaga ni kari jumhur ulama na ke kamma nanti jaru ke afarle manan bitna kahra kunni mangiya koten kamma boy kale ibn hazm daga do kenga ado imam shafi'i ali kan kan wonde hanna temba tuwaron da kille de kiyai golli bure ngara do hono mo gombe silama ko beno go hobro wutu katai na kullaga ni kari ni bugonon ka hanai kubeno go wanne awa soron kala ni kala ni garen kamma nan kino soron ka hanai na kullaga ni kari ni bugonon ka hanai mara malla kalle kira kinga jan kenta yana yo kala metama ya anya manam petnantina kahira umru wangi akote ngamma kenu tuanu daga kilenga tuanu yo soile aro ken kilegani ibn hazim aro shafi'i dian kane wono woni nandanya manania na kahira ulla gada abuga bagangi akote ngamma igaida lununko كمل أورد ديامي كوران أن يكون الجهاد مع الإمام المسلمين أو بإذنه أشهد تيان كيرانا كينا شهد كورينا أن يسلام نكان كم بالله عند أودومي جمال سلونا كنتا ونيا كان كي أغاني كي بيسولانو كي كي لغاناي أن كم بالله ولا متاج مين كهاناي أن يكون الجهاد مؤديا إلى مصلحة راجحة ولا يترتب عليه مفسرة أعظم جهاد قاي أنا كبير كنما عليك نهان كاناي نابي ولا باتنا كينيام كورا تورا بيكوتوكينا باتنا ولا تنقو ديانا بنواني أوتي هو نميني أتورا نمبوانا هانتانا كيلبي تونوا درء المفاسد أولى من جلب المصالح نندمون نهالتني أغنى كن هارو تورا غورني تورا بيا كما كينيام قرآن هانتانا كين تونوا أنا بوكالي كما لجن تانا غيرنا أنا على هنكا بيجاي أرواسو كالي ولا من التورا ريتا كما تانا تون هنا عن تو أمريكان وندي مالا غدا كيت يارا كوتامبي كنا هنكا جمان تينا ولا من هنكا كنا كما بكر موامبي كما أتنا نقول مالا جمالي كم قادرة كم يكون ما كيلا غدا سيما نانجيل نكين دواري نسلام نونكاري كم كالين دونكوي كتوكو يسلام نونكاري والله ما تيلا كهم والله فارين رأيهم وهم مثل لوكين كله باتنا مونا كين كنا بانغاني أسرونا كيندو أنغان كيندو فارين سير أنت كنا كينيا كلا فارين كله ديغام بنو كوينيا أجه دوما كله كله باي هاري بوا كيناني أو بدر كتنا جهروهانا أسامنا كوها كلا مروا أغا أغلون دعابا مون أنيليا سينكين تهو عن ما الله سبحانه وتعالى هذا كوتو رسول كونجي موا كده أغام بكرة كلا كما إمون يلي أبون دعابا manna kunda jabe tangaro hanke no gondi orno hanke no ndamba ten ka hanai on tawon ko na ko musoro ngale ko ada ngani izha anta rabbuka faqatila innaha huna qa'id man daken ko nana ngande nan danke nan ka man nan gelen da ko ta unere ko ko da mbatenga angaro no ko soro namba ten ka hanai kenda kura singini fare na khibare de ka hanna kembre ngono duru to adina ke hamuye kengo hamina mo gombe nan islam on dina be sere kalen dinai islam on dina be di sere kawne dina ganai islam on dina ni kisiye dina yi soronga wa hamu mo gombe igo takkan kitana duna adi la garaga hanna ono hakken to kendi mo siri o sunya dawa yang ana go no kusuka humande ka hanai alla idina di garanti na mangyan ko dengan mere ko tambe kana to kinyami na daronai nga ada akuma nandara dina kaya na bulle ndabari taga duna kerna ke ala kerna ke hanari angana hibe to nanga parliament wi ke hanai dina ke dara karayen palle mananyele kata alla kalle no faren kalle nyai duna hay me soge sunu goni to rasulhaw kamalengi kenni adam tamassukna bi kitabillah wa sunnati rasulih sallallahu alaihi wasallam o ma tigete alla kitabe kay aro faren sunna ne mano kisema kamma فأنت عليه الصلاة والسلام إلى هنا لتقو إهل ما إن تمسكتم به لن تضلوا بعدي كتاب الله وسنتي الله كتابي عليك لكن لك رهنا كنا نعمو ما كتاسو أرطورا ممي كم برنا كبر وعكل لنا دباري إلهي قرين دباري إذا كانوا فارنا جهاد لنا أشتنا جهاد نقنا فارنا أنت كيسين كلنا كيسكاسي أنت لونم كلي أنت يارون كلي ما كنا أسوكا وما تندر أنا أسوكري ولا منا وتفرسنا ولا منان كلي غهنا أنا كدينا بقومينا غهنا كم بدي فارين كنا كلنا ده كنا جماعة كلنا هل كنا يا أنسي قرين هل كنا يا قرآن أنت تندي والله هم سايدام بالله أنا كرا فارين سرون لغني تانغا فارين سرون لغدا دينا كي غهناي تي هونne adam munyen kahana faina da wada kunun kahanai kuma siran no ne kem pakan ngani kenga mo gombe kana atadarrudu kuma wanga ko mo gombe faina mo azu gata yamania amasu ko domeo atigandu na salle nga watimbe igadu nan Allah ni bane ay anna salle ko kempalle nan Allah ni bane abana ko batini ken Allah ken fane kenga de gadu kenga anna salle ko dangani Allah salawatu filinya wajibi kam kiendo wuro kenga dangi igadu kenga dangani anna jeka ko kempalle kenga jinde na bunno woni ama su ko domi tabana men dungi halanga hina atadarruju honne mangor nekiye mali mananga o ministre men watimbe keme wat nan de Allah kalle biyan ko dabarni sedi kan kanne ken tawana muti Allah kalle ka mundi ken dawdi ni faren liyan kanne hana ka mundi dina ke ma amele gide ma so kuda kille bayde ma ke hay tele nan tiyo qur'an mutu kiteno gonde nan di su ko gonde nan diwira mu kutunde wallahi ma ham ke bati faren la kille ka hanai faren ma dina ndabade kunu ka hanai ora kuma na makanta ngi tambile ke osino sekino gondi kabila be gani awate ngan desira no gondi agabe ne mosi maari be kaja antara ngi tanjiro kabila non tummi na yampun kabe kabila ile ga ino ngana godina ke ali na solla gani tanga lengira ke ya tay ne ngati ke se ka dina ka hanai ke ngama kite ho hori ka hanna ke ngani oy menu me so re ka hanna oy men da me wara on ta me mulo wala me ka hebu ni me ka hanai wasla min duru wala me ka hebu ka hanai hara amare na maslama ko anna amnaya ngati mo kebe ka mangata ka ke garanya to mu hedi andu na sadna ke palle imbe gati ko mo ombe andara salna ke palle akausi na dalla ni bani wala bani bata aso no men no woni farina alla ke ni farin salwa ko ngara o ke salli ange madu salna ke palle nandi defo wa pinga wallahi so mo si defo ko hanai se sunto no le bunga anda kebe anda to amma to na kasindeni ke mo suno woni gana no kunda siwan kale no ko kondeni alla baane akimandeni tembe nga serebe ko no nandi awa hamdedi wala ma defo gai anna ken ka tawa ko inai anda ka alla kale no faran kale nga ana ken sa mo setana wala anda ni ke konni de anda alla di faran ta diga men ke pani kenga keme wa to rasu do woni lenke ken ni dina ke hambala kunya ken kan ta ha min de mona karade na karana tu aho sire alla ganda mo di sengi no ko mantenga
Islam is the religion of the peace. Islam is not a religion of the killing. It's not a religion of the extremists or the fundamentalism, as some media said. Islam is all about the peace. The leaders of the Muslimin should not engage the Muslimin on anything as long if it's on the benefit of the Islam only. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in hadith that Allah commanded him to engage the war against the non-believer until they took the shahada. If they took the shahada, their blood, their money become haram on him. As long as somebody took the shahada, you should not take his or her money away. You should not kill them because they're not perfect. That's not your job. That's up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anas bin Malik, which is a companion of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he never engaged in the war against the non-believer until he waited till to the time of the dawn. When he heard the azan, he will not engage the war against that village or that country. So the Islam should only engage in the war against the non-believer, not against the Muslims themselves. And let's make the Islam easy, like baby no step. The Islam and its legislation and the rule, all of them did not come in one day. Even when we look at them in the Quran, the entire Quran did not come in one night. The Quran has been revealed, all of those in scripture, in 23 years. Because if all of them will come to one day, nobody will become a Muslim. So the scholar of the Muslims, they should learn the lesson from that. When you are a scholar and you invite the people to the Islam, don't make them in Islam hard. The Islam, it's an easy religion. Don't make it hard to the people. And don't bring all of the Sharia in one sentence. And you preach them according to the understanding and to the level of the belief. And to engage them in the jihad, there's a couple of rules Muslimin need to follow. The jihad need to be only in the name of Allah, to spread Islam, and to spread the word of Allah, and to make the word of Allah, and that's the highest, the legislation. And the jihad also should be to minimize the crime in the face of the earth, but the jihad is not there to neutralize or to exterminate the non-believer. That's not the meaning of the jihad. And that was not the intention to exterminate all of the non-believer in the face of the earth. And that's some of the two scholars said, which is Ibn Hizam or Shafi'i. And those two went through that path. And also the jihad should be behind the Imam of the Muslim. And you cannot have the Imam till the Muslimin united behind one person, and that's an Imam, to be the voice of the Muslimin. And the Imam is the one who should engage the jihad. And the jihad also, which is the struggle, should be for the benefit of the Muslimin. Anything that it's a benefit weight, it's inconvenient, that's good. But anything it's inconvenient or overweight, it's a benefit, that's not good. And even our beloved Rasulullah, he never engaged on any war, such as example, the war of the Badr. He consulted with his companion. He asked them, should we go or not? And they answered him that, we will not tell you what the Jews tell Musa, go you and your Lord to fight, and we will sit here, but we will say we will go with you. So the Muslims, they should consult among each other. Even if you're the leader, you should consult with your companion. And Rasulullah said that he will leave us two things, and that is the book of Allah and his hadith. As long as we are following in those two, we will not be misguided. So we Muslims, if there is an area of discrepancy or the area of the argument, we should always go back to the basic, which is the origin, Kitabullah and the Sunnah to Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is the book of Allah, and Sunnah to Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is the hadith. So that's what we should be based on it. And Islam is not about because my beard come all the way to my chest, or maybe because I cut my pants to my knee, or maybe I wear the white clothes. That's not the identity of Islam. The Islam should be about what you do. And that's what it should be in Islam, because we know in our society a lot of people, they are misguided because of the lihya, which is the beard, or maybe because of the clothes. Those are apparel and cosmetic. That has nothing to do with Islam. That should be backed up with doing the right thing and start what Allah asks you to start. And follow in the book of Allah. As long as you follow in those and the Sunnah to Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that's what makes you a good Muslim, and not because of the clothes or the appearance. And we should learn about the seerah of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam to truly understand about our religion. And no one is perfect. If you find your brother, Muslim, did the wrong thing, don't say, I will not pray behind him because he cut his beard, or maybe he don't wear the proper clothing. Help him. No one is perfect. Allah is perfect. And you're the one who's accusing him. You're not perfect either. So the perfectness is only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Muslims, we should encourage each other, and we should not take each other because of our shortage. Allah is the only one who is complete. And that's very spread in our society, and we call each other kafir and put each other in Jahannam. That's the wrong thing. And no one is perfect, and perfectness is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Kemdema ogo jihadu be digamen kamma torwa kan di fardu kifaya ay idha qada bihi al-ba'd saqata ithmu al-mu'aqad an al-baqi nandi farla be gani wasayin farla yani comme salati lem bay mo be so na ginna dabari tijru mo kenne bakka kutunga comme Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala di kitabe ken wali wama kana al-mu'minuna liyanfiru kaffa فلولا نفر من كل فرقة منهم طائفة ليتفقهوا في الدين ولينذروا قومهم إذا رجعوا إليهم لعلهم يحذرون أجمع توان قلني تما أنت مؤمن سكهم أنتم بكا نندقى جهاد رنا نندقى توا أمور رنا نجمع نندقى جهاد ركي ولا ما توا أمور ركي inda hibe mgu faringa kennoko inda hibe mgu ikram onei inda sage watimbe ina hallan kongo modi kendi yankanei ina kundi gamu kunna ngani kenna ya sabo ya kem pam kom faringa ta alayhi salatu wassalam hajjul wada kenna hijul garenga te garin tengare mpane diga umbe ko ada ngani sedo qur'ani kenna kiyandi fali balligh minkum ash-shahid al-ghaib kenna kiyandi be ganda qur'ani no woni anga baseo diga mukumuku awahamun na ko sebe na diga mu gingi hanai kemme kuna ko jihadun man yujahid o man yujahad kuna jihad na barna na ko ga yada hanna to onna ken kana shartiya sebe ne ken na barni an yakuna balighan aqilan dhakaran والسلامة من الضرر جمهور قتي أن يكون حرا أنا إسري أبالي كنتني أري حقرون ودومي أنفق رمبرون تهدي أنا يقوم جارة أما واجبي يارين كما أنا يقورين كهنا أما واجبي أكمين كهنا كما أما واجبي كهنا كينغني هنجيتين كما ولا بس جنبيتين كما كسبة كتورا كهنا أنا كوجا جنا كهنا هو المحارب من غير المسلمين أو من أذن الشرع في قتاله من المسلمين وأنقى سلبك نتين سلبك ردنا نجا الله سبحانه وتعالى لا ينهاكم الله عن الذين لم يقاتلوكم في الدين ولم يخرجوكم من دياركم أن تبروا إليهم وتقسطوا إليهم أسماء كماني أكيم واسم بغالي مدينة أكيم ما يقولي tuan wat sunne manya tuan dam hon dama imani alika ta faran atim maride abile kiye yarike ina maki ara farin tim dina es habon farin yang kade masanga tikke ngade asari mali wala masunde ma ama ma ke diga kan tenga managa farin tim dikem pukunga ibile diga be kware ngale siga ogeme intihara ngani naba alla qur'an ngaya kadi alla ndaka bana bakasroi kubelu maaga daga dinakin Imam ta baka kan kono wandi ta sulukata kunga farenta an sulukata na soni na sulukata kembre nga sebe ugaja na kinya sebe ndo ugaja sama o kinara na koni na bangandi sella kan da barni kahana o tikem sale ga ndangire kengi ngana na sigidina kan andanya na ba anyana ke balleya wala manana jondi anya gunde comme Abu Jahl lakin ko tambe na jikun sagina de Abu Sufyan jikun nan sagi badri ko tan nda sagina few hala nga kisa ame kuma kisa ku daga na mona badriya on daga nga drone min nonga tuma ya arna sugu arabu sunot nan dogan sebe ona faren ali ona Muhammad jamankara ona kula ali sukari besno ga nemu senta sa gono ku igana ya rano magala ne mombe idi sukara kota Polisi sere oro ya suka homanden kaya kota kana oy meno ga salam gombe badri kota tanyile sere na kella kana kari na kemera ga hanna hiben no gaja wala maslama ko sayenga dunge na kebe gaja kenna ni bowato ko benda bukana ngenga hanna kam kesu kama Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kana khina dimun kana wa yuta ifadal min almu'minina iqtatalu فأصلحوا بينهما فإن بغت إحداهما فقاتلوا التي تبغي حتى تفيء بمن حتى ترجع إلى أمر الله ما غساجوات من هنا كنيا جنة كم لنا دعنا كل أساس أبو دعاني سلامة بيسنا غنا همنا تو نهم وسلم وسرون دعاني كهنا أنا ما سري سبب وكم بقول برو أو كم ديمانا Angana musrebe kene ana usamuda kene wale wala manani mutnambwa karanga maga lakalo kendi gameli maga tangana na lakallari alla wa illana kemba na diga meke ko angen so diga meke amu tara kendi rubundi de alla kallem woinan koy fare kallem woinan koy kemo sabotene kemo rakata ange mutawunna kunteringa wala mamu kunde mana angilli ananaga wa idha ra'aita alladhina yakhuduna fi ayatina fa'arid 'anhum حتى يخوضوا في حديث غيره وإما ينسينك الشيطان فلا تقعد بعد الذكرى مع القوم الظالمين شيطاننا من أنسي محلتنا مع التعوك ينتو يوندانا كوبي مساناتي الله قلنا نالله قلن سبودي وقال لن يوم مجتمع وكهم غبي ونا تعون قصو وديا يمرنوا كما أقوى ينانتي سرنا نجمع ديا مسكوت الأمم قوتنا أو نرى تكين أنا مطير نكين كهناي معاذ بن جبل تفاعلنا وإنا لمؤاخذون بما تكلم قال ثقلتك أمك وهل يكب الناس على وجوههم أو على مناخرهم إلا حصائد ألسنتهم يا لما من كنت أسرع جنبا نقريا على أنكم من وجهنا من ولا ما ينقلون كما ما أنت إنهم رجعون بنو حتى دنا نوندي نينو غسل جام بيغاني فارنتي سريري أنا كاتي nakane ala nene na kella ga naga antum mutuna jana ga mutin danangani ila tirni manna srenke na jahannaba ala ngaba ati allan kanne no jikusire ya tirni hilla dinga jahannaba kallenga ati nene arukane alla ga no kallenya hosrinda no woni no hamul islam o ki ham hosrenga
And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in his Holy Quran to Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam that it was not permitted that all of the Muslimin they will engage in the battlefield. There should be among them the Muslimin who should stay and learn the religion from Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Not all of the Muslimin should go to the battlefield and leave Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Some of them should stay there to learn about him in Islam. And when the other people come from the battlefield, they should share the knowledge that they learned from Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam with their peers, such as in the Quran and the Sharia of the deen. And that's how we should be. So in the battlefield, some people should go to the battlefield and some people should stay to learn about it in Islam. And the jihad is not just, which is a struggle, it's not just engaging the battlefield. Even learning about it in Islam and spreading them in Islam, that also means the jihad fi sabilillah. Therefore, Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in Hijjatul Wada, which is the farewell of the Hajj, he told the people and said, okay, this is my message to all of you. And whomever is present, you should carry the message who is absent. We were not there. So that message carry all the way till to us and till to the day of the resurrection. And who we should engage the jihad against? And who should engage the jihad? Those are the two main questions. The jihad should be against the people who fight the Islam. So those are the people we should fight them. We should not fight the innocent people, the people who did not engage them in the war against us, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said. But whomever oppressing our religion, we should fight them in the back. We should defend ourselves and defend the kalimatullah. Therefore, in the Ghazwat Badr, which is the war of the Badr, all of the leaders of the Quraysh, such as Abu Jahl and etc., they say, we will go to the battlefield and we will go with the women, they will sing and we will drink them in the beer, and then we will kill Muhammad and his companion. So all of those people, they were dead in the day of the Badr. So Muslimin killed all of them with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you as a Muslim, when you see or you hear the people who's mocking the religion of Allah or to mocking the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as we hear now in the TV and all the time, you hear in the radio or in the gathering, don't just sit idle, don't listen to those, because that's not something that a Muslim should sit and idle. If you cannot defend them in the Islam, just stay away from them or turn off on your TV and do not listen to those. And companion of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam ask him and say, what is the key to go to the paradise? And what will bring us into the hellfire? He said the key to the paradise is you fear Allah and you do the good mannerism. You fear Allah and have the good mannerism. That's what will bring you to the paradise. And what will bring us into the hellfire? It's our tongue. So you Muslim, you should not be and you put your tongue on anything. As we say, you only have to mind them in your business. If something is not about your business, don't just say anything because you just want to talk or to show the people how good talker you are. You should mind them in your business. Your tongue is what will bring them into the hellfire and also what's between them in your life. And may Allah make us among the people who will fear Allah and have a good mannerism.
agara ko mo gombe o akama ko no wale ko tangaba o dum mo mesongini ona digam ko terenga na alla digan kanun terenga wara digan kamna kullaga di terenga digam kunta hatagi ngada jakindeide ay nda hatagi diken ka hanai digam kunta hatagi nan doga na bugu nan dikka ci waju nan na ko katuma dangan lendi ay waju nan koy adan ke sonangum adan ken kalengum me alla kalleno fare kallenga na koy kenga na koy nange kebe kama bankale ka to ko na temutu gillanga ni mumiade digamen taw no sere kama mare musa metro salama o ke abatte mo mai sere turede ora metro mania salama o ke batte na kenya no tu ni mele ke ko tan kenga ni to on kempa mare ma on kempa marjana no gondi alla ga na kenya su ko mantena ngani o wana isuron ka jarana alla ga tum gombe farenga tum gombe on dangiro kulun kun kilon ka hanai serena magedu tunan wara plasia kebe gane alla plasinga ando alla umei ono hakento kenni mosi odna kule ken wondi anna sallina sumu hotna ya sawa nan sallina sumu subononi hari banen tandangani anga suma islami yani jawu islam woni men wondi allah subhanahu wa ta'ala awtini kitabu wala ken wondi qul la ya'lam man fis samawati wal ardi ghaiba illa allah wama yash'uruna ayyana yub'athun tifaranke na ko ida ngani sen daruma kamun no gondi nyen no gondi hibe go hom unten to maganta allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bare farema ko tambe alayhi salatu wassalam jinnan ngirna ya ramu wa koy yisir na kamukei na daga allah subhanahu wa ta'ala yang kanun terenganunga na sigime kama na kilme yang kana na lakini ibisaro marukum na golli yang ko tengam farena ko tambe sana mo yang kana ibuini ay tike hiduroi boy faren sanun tage hinu sikia kanema kenga ni alama yuhtada biha ta kumante na to unya dikenga ibe o kendule bunne woterna mo be bunne no woni yo sanun ke bo wa kimba kana o renne gana kiel ke nuran ka hanai ado hujuman li shayatin wa zinatan lis sama sokran woni hawri ya ngam ka kuma ya no sui ahananga tagu manjo men dangani ona busan mo ken no nga hilani shitane na ya moye na sun kuma na kula ga nei boy sikani na kamu prampam litai sebe ga to o mo ken dangi halle tanna lu kilifi no yanga takebetu kenni faende yang kanni alayhi salatu wassalam oda allah subhanahu wa ta'ala faende ay ko tammi jinnan ngiyana nasura mi te kenya remurwa idagana faende tamro lasre ngure ya ko waran karna iti wallahi kiyando kabaka munda gayna wa idh sarafna ilayka nafra min al-jinn yastami'una al-quran falamma hadaruhu qalu ansitu falamma qudiya wallaw ila qaumihim munzirin قالوا يا قومنا إنا سمعنا كتابا أنزل من بعد موسى مصدقا لما بين يديه يهدي إلى الحق وإلى طريق مستقيم يا قومنا أجيبوا داعي الله وآمنوا به يغفر لكم من ذنوبكم ويجركم من عذاب أليم إيمن يدعونا نتابعنا الله تواتي من غير جدامير نكتنجم فاري يقول الله دي أن كترينغنا يتينا واتي من إذا الله قال كترينغا ya kin wati mai timele ngani ka kurwa kurona kelga meteringa wati me farenga duguta isayekati soronga na soronga ngongo itiasro okura dia kanemu kenga yanka musa dangi halle kenni kitabe arna musa kitabe kana tundawo wa qur'ana na kilhana kitabun ga dangi alizuko mamei kusu kitenga ken no gondi kitewa do gondi ken ta kun no gondi ken kitabe o kanne ya kada kilem ko tele mondenga kada tonuma kada kile kana kilebe nyenge dra tele monden